Welcome back. You've been listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM. It's time to head into Giants land, where I'm joined by the 300-game legend and the Juniors director, Trudi Cook. Trudi, it's lovely to have you again for what is the final period of doing the coverage of Wimmera netball. How are you?
Yeah, going well. Trying not to look at the results from the weekend, but going well.
Yes, well, you wouldn't be blamed for having that mindset, unfortunately. Now, for Wimmera netball, it's an exciting period of time heading into finals, but I would say for the Southern Mallee Giants girls, Trudi, that if ever you want a season to end, it probably is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's a bit burnt out. It hasn't been a great season for us, unfortunately. So not going into finals this year. The girls will rest and be there to cheer on our footballers, but a bit disappointing for us, but the sun still keeps rising.
Trudi, I mean, I know this might sound weird, but is it one of those ones where you're almost just relieved to kind of be able to call it quits and just look ahead to 2024 rather than that little bit of hope still being there?
Yeah, no, it is. And look, it's a negative way of thinking, so I try not to say it, but it is definitely that sense of relief for a lot of the girls. You know, when you're in finals, you're pumped, you're excited, you know that something's there to grab. And this year, the girls don't feel that way. So I think it is that sense of relief and getting their weekends to just go to footy and barrack for the footballers or have their Wednesday nights back from training and things like that. So there is definitely that sense of relief.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, I'm trying to sound positive, Trudi, but I guess it's, you know, that type of situation where when you're so short of bodies on the ground and you've got to prepare again for another game the following week, it's almost like, you know, it's doing your mental health a bit of an injustice.
Yeah, definitely. And it can feel very defeating at the time when not only you're losing, but as you said, to get the bodies out on the court has been a struggle for us this year. And then to have this week, or last week, I should say, Jodie Hayes, our joint coach, an A-grade centre, you know, in the dying minutes of the game went down with a knee injury. So to end the season like that, it must have been our favourite season.
All right, well, let's try pick each other up out of this slumber, Trudi, and we'll get through the weekend that was. Unfortunately, not a very good one. So, again, you sort of prefaced it there, but tell us how the A-grade got on. It was not a game that will live long in the memory of most.
No, it wasn't, and admittingly, when I was doing my notes on this one, I looked for many words, and in the end, I come up with, look, the Demons are just too strong, and they play a fast-paced game for 4 quarters, and, you know, you try and block their goals, you try and minimise that ball flow down the court, but they're so quick and strong, and they play a really good game, and to be honest, there's not much more to say than that. Our girls gave it all, and they didn't give up at all. They played really hard like they were contenders for finals, but the scoreboard just, wasn't our way.
Well, Trudi, I think when you're getting key injuries during a really hard game, and also when, you know, you've been a respectable side throughout the year. Yes, there's no finals, but it's not like some of the other teams around various leagues where it's just, you know, a case of can they be competitive one week. You've been more than competitive on a number of occasions this season. You're just going to fall short, but it's just one of those ones where when everything's against you, there's not a whole lot more you can do, really.
No, that's right. And look, as we said before, we try and think of the positives and have our little well-earned break and then pick ourselves up to hit harder and stronger in 2024.
Okay, so pretty well losses for every team across the weekend, Trudi, but why don't we just take a moment to look back at the Southern Mallee Giants season as a whole. You can talk to us about the juniors here as well if you want, Trudi. Just tell us, or surmise rather, the season that was. Yes, it could have been better, but in the end, still some highlights to take out of the season.
Oh, huge highlights. Look, I look back to the notes from round one and I made comment in there about the importance of development of some younger girls that were taking their first season on in the senior grade. And they've done an incredible job. Like the league we play in, Wimmera League, is a tough league, and it's, you know, it's that take no prisoner kind of style of netball. So to have those younger girls stepping up in the senior grades and not only just doing it, but thriving and, you know, getting in the best each week has definitely been a huge success. And I think our other huge success that I spoke about earlier in the year was our juniors, our under-15s and under-13s. You know, they're bottom-age players. They've been belted in week after week for a couple of years now, and to see them not only win a couple of games, but even mercy another team, I think the future of those girls is very, very bright, and Giants have definitely achieved things throughout the year.
Excellent, and we need it to be that way. Well, let's take a look at some of the other results across round 18. Tell us what happened in the Horsham nil game. We certainly flagged this one as being another of the game during the minor rounds that everyone would be paying close attention to.
Yeah, look, the Saints took it out by 32 previously, and this time they only took it out by 12. So Nil have done a good job in closing that gap. Where the Saints have taken their foot off the pedal a little bit for preparation of finals, I'm not too sure. That history doesn't tell us they do that. So Nil have put up a good fight there. But yeah, Saints ended the season undefeated, which is a credit to them.
Okay, another game that's happened across round 18 was Matoa. They had Warwick Eagles. We all tipped the home side. Did they deliver, Trudi?
No, they didn't. Warwick finished the season on a huge high and won by 4 goals. So they've managed to win a couple of games throughout the year. And yeah, the end of the season, I suppose, was definitely their strength. So Matoa didn't make finals either, and it would have been a good hit out between both clubs. But it was nice to see Warwick have another win before the season finished.
Well, Trudi, if ever I've seen a regional netball team replicate the efforts of my West Coast Eagles somehow, it is the Warwick Eagles. So there you go, the Eagles in unison. What a result that is. Let's also take a look at Dimboola. They hosted Ararat. I'm pretty sure we all went with the home side here as well, Trudi. What happened?
Yeah, we did. Look, Dimboola won 62 to Ararat 45. So another comfortable win there. A bit bigger margin than their previous game. Which I would have expected. I think Ararat starts stronger early in the season and end on a low, where Dimboola can keep that maintain that energy for the whole season. So no surprises there.
Well, Trudi, it is finals time. And even though there's no Southern Mallee Giants taking part in the finals, I'll tell you what, sometimes it's better that way because you can just chill out and relax and enjoy it all, and instead of having those butterflies every time the weekend comes around, whether you're a fan or a player. So take the floor here and tell us what you think's going to happen across the finals this weekend.
Yeah, rightio. So on Saturday at Matoa, we've got the Horsham Demons taking stall on in the qualifying final. So look, the first time they met for the year, Demons won convincingly by 18, and the second time they won by 20. So, and that game was only a couple of weeks ago. So these teams have played each other recently. Looking at the past statistics and a bit of research, look, the Demons goal shooter, Georgia Baston, seems to do majority of the shooting. So I think that Stall really need to probably focus in on her and know that the goal attack's not doing as much damage. Whereas when you look at the Stall team, the goalies are shooting more evenly. So, look, sometimes that can be your advantage because the defences have to play one-on-one. But I think that they'll really need to focus in on that goal shooter and shut her down. The Stall centre, Gemma Clarkson, look, she played 200 league games a couple of weeks ago. She's got a wealth of experience under her belt and knows how to run that centre and keep the team level-headed. So, still definitely rely on her. So if Demons wanted to probably pick a bit of a spot to play on there, I'd be making sure Gemma was rattled a little bit. But look, Demons just play those 4 quarters and they do their damage in the second half. Most teams stick with them for the first half, and then that second half you can tell the lack of fitness of the opposition will kick in. So the only way Stall can do this, I think, is to really play those 4 quarters and to make sure that they can shut that ball down in their goalie end.
All right, well, Trudi Cook, it's been great having you on the show again. We'll speak to you next week as the season winds down now that we're in finals territory. Really appreciate your time. The 300 gamer from the Southern Mallee Giants Netball Club joining us again on the show tonight. Trudi, all the best. Enjoy the finals action.
Most certainly will. Thanks, Alice.